Welcome. My name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord. And we finished this journal basically. I still want to do some work on the cover and a closure. And today I want to build a folio to stick into the front or back pocket or something. It's a separate kit, but I thought that you would enjoy this. It's a project where you don't have to think very much. It's a great project for when you're tired at the end of the day or on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. Sometimes I really like a project like this that tells you exactly what to do. You just cut, paste. There's a little bit of room for creativity, and then you have a great project at the end, and it doesn't seem like it's such a big effort to do it. You know, I go in, I like both kinds of projects at different times. So sometimes I want to, do all the creative things and take out all the stuff and have a blast. But sometimes I just want a quick little project and just, after a couple of hours, I have a beautiful project and didn't have to think too much, and, it's kind of all laid out for me. Anyways, that's what this is. So there's several pages in this kit. I'm just going to kind of take it step by step. So this is page 1. This is the cover of our folio. And I said print on light cardstock or 32-pound paper. Those are suggestions. If you want to do something else, that's totally fine. I did 32-pound paper. I kind of like the softer feel of paper most of the time. And 32-pound paper is a pretty substantial paper. It's not going to rip easily. And then I said print page 2 on the back. So this is print page 2, and then after you cut it, you score it at 5 inches. So this is page 1 and page 2. So I'm just going to grab my cutter and cut it with scissors if you like. And I'm just going to cut all of the borders off. Whenever you make a project like this, not just my projects, but any project where things have to fit together, it's really important to print everything at the same scale. So I printed all of these at 100%. So then I know that everything is going to fit together properly. If you print some fit to page and some different, some 100%, some fit to page, it's not going to fit together, because it's meant, everything is meant to fit. Is designed to fit exactly together if you print them all at the same scale. Hopefully that makes sense. So printers usually have a place to do print scale, and you just change it, make sure it's at 100%. So I can score this at 5. I think what I'm just going to do is this is what I usually do if I do something in half. I put it here in my upper left-hand corner, and I fold this over, and I do this. And it should be, it looks pretty exact at 5 inches, but then it's just exact. But you can score it too, if you like. When I was cutting, I got just a tiny little bit of white on the edges here, and even if I didn't, I would still ink around all of these edges. So I'm just going to do that now. Just a light ink. This is a great project to just put a YouTube video on in the background, or some music on in the background, and just relax and enjoy crafting. And I'm going to also ink in the middle or on the other side. Okay, I'm using Distress Oxide Ground Espresso on this. That's what I use for inking my whole Canadian Wildlife project. It doesn't really matter what you use. You can use Vintage Photo, you can use, it doesn't have to even be Ranger. You can use what you want, use what you have. So there is the cover of our folio. Done. So that's page 1 and 2. So page 3 and 4 look like this. And page 3 is also at I don't know if I mentioned, but this was 10 by 7.5. So these pages should be identical. So 10 inches by 7.5 by 10. And when you fold it, then it's 10 by 7.5 by 5 rather. So here's our folio cover. This page is exactly the same size, and it doesn't really matter which side is which, but I have on here, this one is also printed on 32-pound paper, and it's printed front and back. This is page 3, this is page 4, and the backing pages you do not have to print borderless because this is a little bit smaller than the whole page. So if you have borderless printing off, it's totally fine. You don't have to cut anything extra off. And then we just score, this is written at the top, I cut it off already, but we score at 2¼ inches and 6¼ inches on that piece. And fold it and ink it. So I just did that ahead of time just so you didn't have to watch me do that one as well. And then what we want to do is we want to open up our folio, and we just want to kind of lay it here, and we want to fold this 2¼ inch back and lay it at the center, and then fold this over, and that's going to be our insert. So if we just fold this part over out of the way, and this are going, well, this and this are going to be glued and onto this page and made into like a pocket. So just gonna kind of fold that back. If this particular print is directional, like the birds are right side up, so just make sure you don't have it this way when you're doing it. And if you score it and your birds are upside down, what you can do is just flip it over this way, and then you can do, I can't do mine because I've already scored it, but then you can, do your flip the other way. So hopefully that makes sense. Just make sure your birds are right side up. It doesn't matter which side gets glued here, as long as your birds are right side up. So I'm just going to kind of fold this right into my spot here. So I've got my cover folded, and I've got this folded, and it's stuck right into that little crease, and that's just going to make it easier to line up when I press them together. So I'm just going to glue on those 3 sides. Glue's not wanting to come out so good here. Okay, and then just if you have that lined up, you just fold it over like that, and there's you're attaching your flip out, and you're also creating a pocket at the same time. So those are done. 2 pages is done. So our folio looks like this. This opens like this. This opens like this. This opens like this. And we've got a pocket here. And we can fold this back and close this up like this. Okay, so then the next page is page 5. And this one is pockets for our front cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out, there's 3 pockets on here, 1, 2, and 3. They all look like little file folders. And then there's some bits, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, and this bit. And you can just cut those out. You can just even just cut around those like this. And this one as well. These we are going to use to decorate later, so we're not going to talk about those right now. So you can just take those 2 pieces, put them aside, and just deal with these 3 pockets. And this is just single-sided, and this one is again on 32-pound paper. So I'm just going to get these cut out and inked, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my 3 pockets cut out and inked around, and I'm just going to glue them on my front cover here. So I'm going to start with the largest one and just glue it on the 3 sides. Don't glue on the side with the tab. That's the top. Just a little line of glue here. put it on your project, line it up on this side of your folio. It's just a smidge smaller, narrower than your folio. And I want you to line it up on this line, just so that when we open our folio, this is not going to catch. If this is sticking out a little bit, it'll catch. So just line it up on this side. And then we do the medium file pocket next. And again, line it up on the bottom and on the edge, the outside edge here. And then the last pocket, same thing. This one has a cute owl on it. And again, line it up at the bottom and on this outside edge. So we've got a tab on the right, tab on the left, and a tab on the right. And then we have a pocket there, and a pocket there. This one is quite a deep pocket, medium pocket, and a short pocket. So next we have pages 6 and 7. So print page 6 and flip over your page and print page 7 on the back. And then cut out your pieces. These 3 pieces we can just set aside, so that's for decorating for later. This is the piece that we're going to be working on right now. So I want you to just put this in your scoring board and line up carefully the line between the printed part and the white part, and just make a score there. And then line up the other part where it meets the white and score. I just line it up on any number on my scoring board just so I can see where it is. And then when you're folding this, fold this smaller flap down first, and you can give that one a good crease. And then fold this one up, and you may have to adjust this just a tiny bit, but you want the face of the raccoon to line up on both so that it's one continuous picture. So if you have to, move this up or down or something a little bit, get it where you want it. And then when it's good, then you can just give the bottom a crease like that. And then ink around all the edges. And then this page, I just want inside the front cover. So I'm going to open up my folio here. This is the inside of my front cover, and this is going to live right here. So I'm going to glue this on 3 sides on the back. So the back will be white here. If we open this up, we will have this in, oh, I didn't ink on the inside, so I'll ink that in a second. And then I'm just going to glue it on these 3 sides, and I'll leave this open for a pocket. Okay, so we have that glued on 3 sides here. Have this open, so that forms a pocket there. And this flips open like that. We'll do some more stuff in there in a bit. If that's bothering you that it's flopping open like that, you can just take a little paper clip and clip that for now. Then the next page we have is page 8, which looks like this. And again, we're just going to take the pockets out for now. So I'm just going to cut out these 3 pockets. We can put these to the side. We can cut them out and put them aside. Those will be for decorating again. I'm going to cut these out and ink around them, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have those 3 pockets cut out. I'm not sure if I mentioned when you glue this one in, you can just center it side to side. So there's a little bit of a gap here, a little bit of gap there. So then these 3 pieces are going to be in here. So there's two panels of the flip out, plus the shorter panel for the, or narrower panel for the pocket. but we're going to put them on the wider pocket, the wider panel. So if you did it, you know, a little bit flippy floppy backwards, use the one of the larger panels. So you could put it there, and you could also put it on this side. I'm going to put it on this side. So you have 3 pockets, and if you put them together, you can see that there's one that's the tallest, the medium, and the shortest. What I think looks good is to have the deepest pocket at the bottom, then the next pocket, then the next pocket. You can do it different if you like. Again, I'm just going to center them from side to side. There's not as much of a margin here, so put your, you know, when you're gluing it in or whatever, just make sure this can still fold and this can still fold. So I'm just going to put glue again on 3 sides. And this one can be lined up right at the bottom. And like I said, kind of centered side to side. Just make sure this can close. Make sure this can close. And that's all you really have to worry about. You can measure if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top pocket and glue that one on next. And I do want a little bit of room to put something into the pocket. I don't want it lined up right at the top. So I'm just going to kind of line it again side by side or side to side, and, you know, kind of leave enough room so that I think I've got enough room side by side, enough room at the top to put something into there. And then just kind of put your medium pocket in between and make sure it kind of fits. And then, you know, once you wiggle it around and get it in place, then you can press that on, and then do your medium pocket last, and then you can just kind of eyeball an even distance between the two. That's how I like to do it. I did ink around all of these as well. There's kind of a graph paper on this background, so it makes it really easy to line things up as well. So there is our next page. Of course, remember to fold things and make sure that things fit. If something didn't fit quite right, you can probably, you know, fold this back and just kind of cut it off a little bit, but there is that page. Okay, so this is our next page, and this has several pockets on it. This is going to be pockets for all 3 of our flip out pages that are left here. So there's a couple of pieces just of ephemera as well. So I'm just going to rough cut out these 2 pages, or these 2 pockets rather. These 2 pockets. And this pocket. And the rest of this will be ephemera for later. So we can put these 2 pieces aside for now, and we'll work on these pockets. So the first, and it doesn't, well, I was going to say it doesn't really matter, but yeah, these ones are wider. So this will be for the other side of this, because this is the wider section, this is the narrower section. So you could have a choice to do either this one or this one on this side. I'm going to do this one. So I'm just going to get this cut out and inked. All right, that's cut out and inked, and then I'm just going to glue on the bottom and on the right hand side and glue it on this page here. This one can get lined up right on this edge. So you turn your folio around so you can get it nice and squared up. Put it on the, line it up on the bottom, line it up on your right hand side, and there is your pocket. So now we have, this can go like, how did we have this? Yeah, like this. To think for a second. So our folio goes open like this, and then this goes like this, and we have all of our pockets here. And then we're going to work on the back of this shorter flap So that's where I'm going to use these 2 pockets. So I'm just going to get them cut out and inked as well. All right, and then we take the biggest pocket first, and we want to put glue on this straight edge, straight side and the bottom. Once you make this, it's fun to make this kind of how, you know, follow the instructions and make it how I am showing you. And then make it again and, you know, flip your pockets around and trim things off, and, you know, you can do all kinds of fun stuff and make it quite different the second time. So again, I'm doing the straight side and the bottom. And this one, I haven't glued this part, but I'm going to glue this. There's a little bit of room, so I'm going to glue it right next to the right edge here. And then it's just going to give a little bit roomier pocket on the front and the back by doing it that way. So then we have our tag can go here, and this is open here, and our tag can go here, and it's just a little bit roomier at the back because we didn't glue this part down here. Can you see that? So that's that side. And then if we flip that over on this side, we're going to do these 2 pockets. So again, cut them out, ink around them. Okay, so I got those 2 pieces cut out and inked, and I'm going to put this larger one at the bottom. This time I'm going to glue this edge as well, because we don't want anything sticking over that edge anyways, because then we wouldn't be able to fold our folio. So we'll just glue on 3 sides this time. It's handy to have a thin bead of glue. I bought these little glue bottles from Amazon, I believe, quite a few years ago. Well, maybe not quite a few, but a couple of years ago. And I use them all the time. I just refill from my main glue, and I get a nice bead of glue there. So just again, make sure that you can fold everything properly. And then this one, you can decide if you want it here, like there, or you can put it up here and have like a little bit of a shallower pocket at the top. And I think I'm going to put it at the top. You can do whatever you like on this pocket. Again, I'm going to glue it on 3 sides. And I've got lines here too to line up again. So I'm just going to pick a line that I like. Kind of center it a little bit from side to side, make sure everything can fold, and just press that on and let it dry. So then we have again pocket and a pocket. Then the next page I have is page 10, and it's got this large envelope on it, and there's also these words here. So put the words, you can cut them out and put them to the side. And we'll work on our envelope. And I just basically put it in my scoring board. I scored here, I scored here, and I scored on these 2 flaps. Inked everything, folded everything. And then I'm just going to make the envelope. So fold these back here. I didn't need to ink there because that will be inside the envelope. So you can just ink on both of these flaps here. And fold that up. Straightening mine up a little tiny bit. That's what's nice about actually printing on paper too, like 32-pound paper as opposed to cardstock, is it's really easy to shift the scoring marks a little bit, whereas with cardstock it kind of breaks the fibers and it kind of leaves a little bit of a rough edge if you do that. So here's our folder. There's a picture of the cabin on the back and a bear on the front, and that is just going to live inside this big pocket here. So we can fold this up. This gets folded like this. So here's our folio so far, and yeah, it's coming along. All the basic structure is done. So we have this, we have our flip here. That's just to keep it closed for the moment. We have pockets here and here. This opens, we have a pocket here, and a pocket here. We have a large pocket here. We have a pocket here, we have a smaller pocket up here, and we've got a large pocket here where we have an envelope. So let's just continue on with the rest. So this is page 12, and we cut the pieces off. There's just a map piece here that we'll put to the side, and we have 3 tags. And you can mix and match in your folio however you like, but these I meant to go into the front pockets. So you put the large one, I cut them out and inked around them. The large one in the back, the medium one in the next pocket, and the smaller one in the final pocket. So that is page 12. And this is page 13, and I have printed page 7 on the back. I think I forgot to mention on page 12, you can print whatever you want on the back. I ended up printing this page on the back. So, you know, pick whatever page you want. You could even glue this onto like some coffee dyed paper, some cardstock, however you want. I often do that. This time I just decided to print on the back. So I'll get these cut out and inked, and I'll show you where I'm going to put those. Okay, so here are those pieces cut out. And the words I'll just put to the side. I'll explain that in a minute. So again, you can use these wherever you want, but this is how I meant to do them. So these 3 inserts are meant to go into the 3 little pockets. There is a right side and a wrong side to the smallest one. Well, all of them actually, I guess. So what I decided to do is put the biggest one in the bottom pocket, and they're just perfectly sized to go in here and stick out a little bit at the top. So that's what I meant for those. This one I meant to put into this slanted pocket here, and this larger pocket, or larger tag rather, will go into this pocket here. So that is page 13. So here is page 14, and I printed page 7 on the back. You can print whatever you like on the back. So I'm going to cut them out and ink them. Okay, so I got those cut out and inked. So what I have decided for these ones is this one with the coyote on goes into the larger angled pocket here. This one with the maple leaf can go into the shallow pocket up here. This one I might put on some back onto something, because I would like this one to be a little stiffer. This one can go into this back rounded pocket here. And this one can go into the front rounded pocket like that. And then I have this and this left for ephemera, for decorate. All right, so I decided just to finish off the project. I've been working on this. I think this is session number 11 already. So I thought you're probably getting tired of seeing this project over and over again. So I thought I would just finish off the cover and the closure and the folio, and I'll just show you quickly what I did. For the cover, I decided to do a little bit, I wanted a detachable cover because I wanted to still see the cougar underneath, but I wanted a little bit of dimension and just, you know, some fun elements. So I put this together. It's just tied around the back. It's attached to the sides here with just a couple of eyelets. So I just built this little conglomeration of things. I took a picture from the kit and put a little stickles on it. Had a piece of packing paper that I had crumpled and colored. Just some scraps, some cheesecloth, a couple of these elements, this little doily and this piece of lace. were from my recent Happy Mail from Louise, so I was happy to use those. And just some pieces of felt and whatever. And then I just sewed around it just several times just for some texture and just to kind of hold it all together. So I was quite happy with how that looked. I'm still deciding if I want to mount it onto this piece of corrugated cardboard. I ripped it out and I kind of stripped off this cover part so that you could see the ribs, and then colored it with some white and some gold. So if I just put it on here like this, it just seems like it maybe needs a little something. This is not that much bigger, so it doesn't really, but it just seems to maybe mount a little bit better. So let me know if you think I should attach this to here or just leave it like this. Sometimes it's good to have another opinion. And then I also have, this is the large tag from the Folio kit. I just put it on some manila file folder and put Canadian Wildlife there. And I thought maybe I would just stick that underneath there as well. So just kind of gives another little bit dimension. So, and then this just goes behind, kind of crosses over. And then you just tie this in a bow with the front. So super simple little closure. Well, this part is simple. This part, you know, took some time, but it was fun to do. Just, you know, kind of grab bits and pieces and decide what all you wanted to put in there. And did that. I did put my folio inside the pocket here, but another option, and I might even change it to this, is to put this underneath as well. And then tie all of this on here. And then it just is not quite as thick inside. There's a couple of really thick things in this journal already. So, but because it's removable, I have that option to change it how I want. So then the folio I just finished off just very simply. I didn't add a whole lot of dimension. I didn't even put things on the tags. You can do all of that if you like. This label, I wanted it in the front, but it was a little bit too large for here. I cut it at an angle so that it didn't cover too much of the owl, but I think I'm going to resize this a little smaller for you guys on the printable if you want to use it on the cover like that. This piece I just coffee dyed the back. I coffee dyed a couple of pieces. I just use my cotton ball trick, I call it. If you've never seen it, I've done it several times. I just keep a little bit of coffee and I let it dry out in between. So then if it dries, it doesn't mold. And then I just re-wet it. It's like a watercolor. Then I just re-wet it and I take a brush and kind of stir it around. And then this one I think I just even use the brush, but you can dip a cotton ball in it. Coffee dye like that. And then I always have coffee dye for little pieces, you know, handy anytime I want to use it at my desk. So in here I added this little circle. I mounted that on some manila file folder, put a little piece of Velcro on there. That opens up like this. I just put a couple of pieces in here with this piece as a pocket. You could do a lot more in there if you want. Here is the large tag. I'll talk about the words in a minute, but I put the words, I'll talk about that in a minute. So then I have this piece. I just added a couple of little pieces for decoration there. This one I added this piece and I just put I put a circle there and I glued it on half. And then this just comes open and you could put a little journaling space there and it just holds together with that little circle. And I put a piece of washi tape to hold it on. There's some more words. This I don't think I did anything. I just put that little label there. This one I put the love this and there's some words again. And this I made into a tuck as well, so you can put something in there. And this was all just the same, I think. I don't think I put words even on the back of that one. That one's a little bit tight to get in because it's just paper, but there's some more words. I just added that there. Here's my envelope. And at the back I have my extra words there as well. So just really, really simple. Then I decided to add another page. I didn't have this in the original kit, but you won't know that because I didn't publish the kit yet. But I just took the words and the music from All Things Bright and Beautiful from hymnary.org, and I just printed mine on a piece of coffee dyed paper, really grungy coffee dyed paper that I had, and then I'm just going to rip it out along the edges here. It doesn't have to be, you know, you can kind of go in when the digital goes in, but you don't have to be perfect because you would drive yourself crazy if you tried to cut this out exactly. But just kind of, you know, rough tear it. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'll just do this part here. And then you can just take a little bit of ink and just touch up those edges a little bit where you ripped it. And that will give you a wonderful little piece of, looks really old, and then you can fold it up into thirds or something like that and put it anywhere you want in your folio. You know, you could stick it in a pocket here or a flap or wherever you want. So then what I did for the words, I did the chorus, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. And then I have the verse 1 and verse 4 on here. There's actually some more verses in between if you look on some of the other versions. I think it goes up to 7 verses. But I have on here, on the printable, I have each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, God made their glowing. I was like glowing colors and made their tiny wings. And then I have the 4th verse on here. God gave us eyes to see them and lips that we might tell how great is God Almighty, who has made all things well. So I put mine in order so that, you know, this is the chorus here. And then the verses, you know, I have, this is the first part of the first verse, and then, you know, so on, so that they kind of go in order. You don't have to, especially if you have this, then you know what all the words to it. But I thought that would be a nice little addition to the folio. So you can print that and use it however you like. So that is basically my project done. So I hope you've enjoyed doing this project with me. I hope you, you know, if you've hung in there this long through all of these sessions, I hope that, you know, you're enjoying it and you're making something as well, and you got a chance to get all the freebies. Again, I've got 3 kits now in my coffee shop to do with this project. I've got, the first kit is just the papers, and there's 25 pages in there. That was half price from the whole time we were working on this, January and February. Now it's at full price again. And then I have an add-on kit, which includes all the freebies, plus lots and lots and lots more pages. There's 26 pages in all. And I did a flip through of that, the last video on this, so you can see that if you want. And then the 3rd kit is going to be for the folio. So that includes the folio and all of the ephemera that goes into it. I have the full tutorial right here, and this page is in there as well. So 3 different kits. If you're interested in any or all of them, you can hop over to the coffee shop. So thank you so much for watching. Blessings, and we'll see you soon.